Now, from the Columbia Basin, your local news source, this is iFIBER One News, presented in high definition. The #1 source for real-time local news, local sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. With your iFIBER One News team, reporting news in real time as it's happening. From the iFIBER Communications HD broadcast studio in Ephrata, Washington, this is iFIBER One News, and it starts now.
Welcome to iFIBER One News. I'm Alan Troop, reporting news from around the Columbia Basin for Tuesday, December 3rd. Tonight, we report on how charges against the Moses Lake daycare director are to be dismissed and how Moses Lake declined to expand the ability to park taxis in residential areas. In sports, Bob Kirkpatrick reports on how the Seattle Seahawks came marching in on Monday Night Football. And our spotlight story tonight is about a group of Moses Lake kids having fun with some technology. And we have the latest weather forecast for the Columbia Basin from the iFIBER One Weather Center. Our top story tonight, the assault charges against a former daycare director and her husband of hitting 2 children will be dismissed if they don't commit any crimes for 9 months. The prosecutor's office entered an agreement with Kelly and Kurt Lewis, agreeing that as long as neither one of them commits any criminal violations, the charges will be dismissed. The Moses Lake couple was charged with assault in the 4th degree after being accused of hitting 2 children. Prosecutor Angus Lee stated the original charges were filed based on the information provided by police, but more information was provided which showed the case warranted dismissal. The alleged incident revolved around a group of 4 children who tried to start a fire while they were at a residence on South Interlake Road. Kelly Lewis told iFIBER One News she did slap one child after seeing smoke. She said she reacted out of fear, and it wasn't something that was in character for her or her husband. The incident involved children Kelly and Kurt Lewis adopted. They were not children at the daycare Kelly Lewis used to run, the Children of Grace Preschool and Child Care Center. The prosecutor's office could prove Kelly Lewis slapped the boy in the face, but it could be considered an appropriate response to attempting to start a fire. State law allows spanking and slapping. Lee told iFIBER One News there were no allegations that Kelly Lewis struck the children with a closed fist, and the marks caused by the pinching were minor and would disappear quickly. In light of all the information now available to this office, there is no longer a public good served by pursuing charges. The State Department of Social and Health Services required Kelly Lewis to close her business while the department conducted an investigation which showed the allegations were unwarranted. For more on the story, visit us online at ifiber1.com/news. Moses Lake residents running taxi businesses from their homes can have only one taxi parked at their residence. Several Moses Lake City Council members said they wanted to protect the residential areas when they declined to change rules that limit cab companies to only one work vehicle being parked at a home at a time. The request came from Nathan Pack, the owner of Pack's Taxi and Delivery. Pack asked the council for an exception to the ordinance. He started the business at his home on Avery Street. It has now grown and expanded to an office in downtown Moses Lake. Pack was asking permission from the city to have 2 taxis parked at his home when he and his wife were working. He said they operate 24 hours a day, and having the taxis near to them allows for better service late at night and helps reduce costs. Most of the council rejected his request and stated they were looking at the impact on residential areas. Councilmember Karen Liebrecht said, the ordinance needs to safeguard the rest of the neighborhood. For more on the story and to read about council members' opinions, visit us online at ifiber1.com/news. Each of the people you see here has warrants for their arrest and is wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these people, the DOC asks that you not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m. We will be back after these messages with the latest from our iFIBER One Weather Center, sports, and more news.
Looking for that authentic Philly flavor? Come down to Nia Carson's Cheesesteaks, Wings and Things and try our mouthwatering cheesesteak sandwiches, prepared fresh and served hot. Make sure to pair it up with our classic wings, ranging from sweet and tangy to hot and spicy. East meets West at Nia Carson's. We provide Moses Lake with that authentic Philadelphia taste. Bring the whole family. We promise to make them something they'll all enjoy. Nia Carson's Cheesesteaks, Wings and Things. Good service, great price, and something different.
Good food, cold beer, and plenty of entertainment. That's what Sporty Steakhouse is all about. Open 6 a.m. every day. We offer over 100 reasonably priced menu items with 24 different ice-cold beers on tap and a wide variety of spirits. Come in with your favorite group, watch the game on our big screen TV, shoot pool, play shuffleboard, and more. We have live music and DJs, so find us on Facebook for upcoming events. Located on East Broadway Avenue in Moses Lake. Sporty Steakhouse, where good friends meet.
Hi folks, good to be with you once again. I'm meteorologist Miguel Montoya from the One News Weather Center. Your weather forecast is being brought to you by your Bud Clary Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Let's check out the headlines making news. It was a cold one out there today, also windy, and we will hang on to the mid-like winter temperatures over the next handful of days, if not even longer. Winds will begin to relax by tonight between 5 to maybe 15 miles per hour tonight into Wednesday, but with overnight lows falling back into the 10 to 15 degree range overnight, that knocks our wind chill values near, if not a few degrees below zero. So bundle up as you head out the door to school or work once again on Wednesday morning. A reinforcing shot of cold air works its way into the northwestern U.S. as we head into Friday and this weekend. It wasn't terribly cold today, just windy. Temperatures this morning were at 24 in Ephrata, which is near normal for this time of year. It was also seasonably cold this afternoon with similar conditions in Moses Lake. You woke up to temperatures in the low to mid 20s. That's near normal. Made it into the middle 30s this afternoon. The cold air, at least the Arctic air, arrives tonight. We are already down into the lower 20s. The dew point is at 5, so a very dry air mass. You will need to get those humidifiers going over the next couple of days with this bone dry air mass in place. A northerly wind between 5 to 10 miles per hour. Winds not as gusty as we head into tonight, so that combined with clear skies overhead will allow for temperatures to plummet into the lower teens across our area. So as far as stormy weather, not a problem over the next couple of days across our states and the Columbia Basin. Just the unseasonably cold air, cold afternoons, and dangerously cold each night with temperatures falling back into the single digits. Now this computer model does show some cloudiness and moisture working its way into our states by Thursday. I think it will actually remain offshore and then come in south of us. Once that clears the region on Friday, a reinforcing shot of cold air moves in for Friday and this upcoming weekend. Your forecast for Wednesday, 30s along coastal areas and along the Yakima Valley. Otherwise, 20s across the rest of our states, including the Tri-Cities and along the Columbia Basin. I think these temperatures might be a couple of degrees too warm. We will probably only top off in the low to mid 20s. Overnight lows tonight, somewhere in the 10 to 15 degree range. Otherwise, I think our overnight lows over the next several days will be in the single digits and only in the 20s for highs. Maybe stormy by the time next Tuesday into Wednesday rolls around. Well, folks, your weather forecast was brought to you by your Bud Clary Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. We'll be right back with sports.
There's something new and exciting happening right now at your nearest Toyota dealer. It's the arrival of the all-new 2014 Corolla, now featuring a new stylish exterior, plus a premium interior loaded with technology, including Toyota's N-Tune multimedia system with navigation. Corolla has definitely evolved. The best part is, right now you could take advantage of special introductory savings. The new 2014 Corolla, available at any of your Inland Empire Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places.
My name is April Cisneros. I'm the owner and director of Little Chief Child Care Centers. We believe that all children deserve love, attention, and nurturing. We believe a safe environment allows children to explore and grow. We encourage hands-on learning experiences that foster age-appropriate development. We believe that positive reinforcement is important for a child to develop self-esteem.
Our spotlight story tonight is about a new generation of tech fans at Columbia Basin Secondary School. Reporter Jeff Chu fills us in about the students playing with robots.
With robotics clearly having a future in technology by land, sea, and air, a smart squad of Columbia Basin Secondary School students are building and programming their own robots by the book. Matthew Walker, a math teacher at Columbia Basin Secondary School for 3 years, founded the school's robotics team 2 years ago. Since then, club members have become highly competitive, recently winning a regional Wenatchee competition. Walker's team is gearing up for the statewide Zilla Robot Challenge on Saturday. He recalled how his teams won in Wenatchee.
There was, I think it was 19 teams, if I remember correctly, from 8 different schools. And some of them were STEM schools, tech schools, regular schools, alternative schools like ours. We had 4 of those 19 teams that went, and 3 of them placed in the top 10. 2 of them was first and second, and overall. And then the Zilla competition, this is, I believe, their 7th year doing this, 8th year maybe. And they do 2 competitions a year, and it's statewide, so there can be anywhere from 40 to 100 plus schools, not schools, teams that go. And it's a pretty big event. There's usually around 300-400 people there.
Walker's team has members from freshmen to seniors. He says math definitely applies with his students building and programming robots.
A big part of the robots is the problem-solving aspect, which is a big part of math. If you can problem solve, you can do pretty much anything.
Brianne Green, whose team won first place at the recent Wenatchee regional competition, said she thinks other female students should join the robotics club.
I would recommend it because it's just fun, and I'm a really competitive person, and that's why I like it. And so I think girls are just afraid of like being in a robot team because it is full of guys. But if you just, explore what you like, you'll find out it's really fun.
Brianne's teammate, James Glencoe, talked about his favorite part of the robotics program.
I think the ability to problem solve in a group with other people is you can work together well. It teaches you to critically think, but then also put in your input and listen to other people as you get to work with them as well.
Robotics Club member Kenneth Wicks, whose team took second place at Wenatchee, explained why he joined the club.
It's interesting because we get to learn what different, basically what different parts of the robot mean, different resistors do different things.
Kenneth's teammate, Eric Scriven, he says the competition has shown him he can overcome personal difficulties.
Well, with me being both dyslexic and colorblind, it makes doing programming and putting resistors in difficult, but just because you're dyslexic and colorblind like me isn't like a handicap that should hold you back from something that you could be phenomenal at.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
We will be right back after this.
6 years ago, my dad began having issues with headaches, sore throats, and constant fatigue. He tried treating the problem with over-the-counter medications and lots of caffeine. Finally, he talked to his doctor who confirmed our suspicions. Dad had sleep apnea. He didn't like the idea of using a CPAP, but after trying it one night, he was convinced. We found everything he needs for a much better quality of life at In-Home Medical.
When Othello resident Alex dreamed of earning his bachelor's degree, he followed those dreams to Whitworth and Spokane. But now there's a shortcut through Moses Lake. If you have your AA degree or 2 years of college completed, you can now earn your Whitworth degree in Moses Lake at Big Bend Community College. Classes meet just 2 evenings and 1 Saturday every 6 weeks. If you share Alex's dream to complete your degree, visit whitworth.edu/Moses Lake for details.
In Northwest news, one person was trapped yesterday when a grain hopper collapsed in Roy. The silo folded in and grain spilled on the ground. A special operations response team was called to Wilcox Farms in the small town south of Tacoma. Wilcox Farms is a 100-year-old farm that sits on 1,500 acres of sustainable farmland. Seahawks fans rocked the stadium so hard during last night's matchup with New Orleans that seismic instruments registered small tremors at various points in the game. A magnitude 1 or 2 quake was recorded during Michael Bennett's 22-yard fumble return for a touchdown. The game registered on nearby seismic instruments several other times. Earthquake expert John Vidal says fans get the Oval Stadium moving back and forth by stomping their feet and jumping up and down. The director of the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network compared the action to when a car rocks back and forth. Fans also made record noise last night, setting the Guinness World Record for loudest outdoor sports stadium noise at 137.6 decibels. The Seahawks beat the Saints 34-7 to become the first team to clinch a spot in the NFC playoffs. A Grammy Award-winning artist who sings to sold-out stadiums took the stage at a Seattle Starbucks coffee shop. The best part? Her audience had no idea beforehand that she would be performing. King Television's Adam Mertz shows us what happened when Mary J. Blige stepped up to the mic.
This Starbucks closing its doors in the middle of the afternoon.
It's really exciting. Apparently something's going to happen.
Reserved or straight up.
Like it's going to be really cool.
But very few knew exactly what.
They're going to die.
There were rumors and excitement as they waited to see who would be performing in the coffee shop.
They've been talking about it, all day. Where are we going? Who's going to be there?
Then she stepped up to the mic.
I'd like to introduce Miss Mary J. Blige.
The singer performing for a special group of girls at this Starbucks community store, where a portion of the profits go to the YWCA.
Y'all ready? Y'all want to sing along with me? You can.
Accompanying her, Grammy Award-winning producer David Foster.
This neighborhood, it was everything for me to surprise them. I mean, for them to not know I was coming or even to know what they were in for.
Some of the young women were in for an even bigger surprise when Mary J. pulled a few of them on stage.
Mary saw herself in them, and they saw themselves in Mary, and that makes for a perfect day.
A special performance few knew about, but some will never forget.
The singer flew into Seattle just for this performance. Starbucks says she is a strong supporter of their community stores that donate money to nonprofit organizations. 2 chimpanzees that used sign language at a Central Washington University institute are reportedly doing well at a sanctuary in Quebec. Tattoo and Lulis were moved in August from Ellensburg to the Fauna Foundation Sanctuary. The Daily Record newspaper reports the sanctuary has about a dozen chimpanzees and ample space. The 2 from Central Washington University were the last of 5 chimps that lived at the Chimpanzee and Human Communication Institute, which has been discontinued. And that's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.